Very good morning to one and all present here. Myself, S. Jagan of First MBA School of Management, DG Vaishnav, welcome you all to the Cloud Connect 2021. We are gathered here to design our career portfolio. Today, our guest of honor, Gauri Das, is an engineer turned HR professional with keen interest in human psychology. She is a strategic HR leader with 15 plus years of experience in crafting and aligning HR strategy with business goals. She supports business leaders and individuals in driving performance and improving capabilities. She focuses on elevating employee experience by enriching careers, ensuring effective communication, and thus creating an employer brand. She drives the right culture in alignment with organizational values. She carries wealth of experience with both startups and well-established organizations. She loves high energy and growth-focused environment. Some of her achievements are HR 100 under 40, Top HR Mind India, TAPAI and Economic Times Young HR Leader Top 70, WICA Luminary Growth, LinkedIn Person of the Year 2020, CEO Recognition EOQ, standing ovation from 300 plus colleagues on day of exit in previous assignment. She is a passionate speaker and has spoken in multiple national and international forums. She loves sharing knowledge bites and experience on resilience, growth mindset, self-compassion, and motivation. She is a lead membership for Professional Speakers Association of India, Mumbai. She mentors students and professionals and supports them through her motivational talks and guides them on being future ready. She is passionate about women empowerment and is leading a linen circle called Leaders Lifting Leaders. She loves networking and knowing people beyond their profile brings her happiness, and therefore she is a core committee member of Navy Mumbai. Passion with compassion is her mantra. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invite. We are immensely happy in welcoming you. The forum is all yours.
Thank you so much, Jagan.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. This is going to be an interactive session. So can we have some videos on? We are 65 of us, and I can see only 3 videos, including madams. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you, Sarvesh. Anybody else there?
Yes, guys, switch on your videos.
Because we will be talking about video interviews in detail. That's one of the important things today. And that's where it would be great if you switch on your videos. So I can tell you, I can recommend if there are any changes required in your background and overall video image. Okay, thank you so much, Arunesh Desilvan. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Rakesh, great. So let's start, and I'm sharing my screen. Please confirm if you can see it. So we are talking about, yeah, so you can see my screen and you can hear me well?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Thank you. So today we are talking about career portfolios, and this one is HR centric. Let's start with what is an interview. So please put up in the chat box, or if you want to unmute and share, what do you think is an interview, and is this picture depicting the interview well? 2 questions. One, what is interview as per you? And second, the picture that I have put up here, is it depicting the interview well? Answers in chat boxes, please.
Students, you can unmute yourself and answer.
Yeah, any of the ways you want to utilize. So everyone saw the picture? Was the picture correctly depicting an interview? And what is an interview according to you? No answer is a wrong answer. All of us are learner for life. Please be open and share your thoughts.
I'm selecting right person for right job might be the interview.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any more?
Ma'am, interview is a place in which we have to express ourselves as best as possible and we have to impress the person who is interviewing us.
Okay, great. Thanks. Any more views?
Testing a person's knowledge.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So all these,
Ma'am,
yeah. Yes,
ma'am, I
Raki.
think both the pictures do not depict as it is in interview.
Okay. And why so?
Ma'am, because while seeing the gestures that is being displayed in both the picture, we can say that it's not an interview.
So you are referring to the two people who are sitting there. You think that the gestures are not as per interview. I
Yes,
hope
ma'am.
you're. So you are referring to this picture. Let's be on same page. Otherwise, just you are referring to this picture, Raki.
Ma'am, I think this is another slide, ma'am. It's not the one which you showed us earlier.
Oh, okay. So this is the one that I am referring to. Okay, maybe that's why there were only few responses. So this picture where it is written what is an interview and there are two people sitting together talking. I'm asking, is this the picture which clearly depicts an interview? Yeah, Raki, you use please. Okay, no worries. All the answers are correct. And yes, it is a time to evaluate. It is a time to understand. However, the picture does not clearly and indicate an interview. Why? Because interview is a two-way process. And the picture indicates only one way of asking question. And the other person is just responding, right? All the question quotes are towards this person, the person on the right, and the person on the left is not having any captions. So she is only responding to the question, and that is not an interview. And that is what I wanted to understand, that if you have an understanding that the interview is all about two-way process. So it's an interviewee and an interviewer. It's not that only interviewer will ask questions. All you have to ask questions as well, and actually you have to lead the interview. Remember this, lead the interview. You don't have to be a follower there, you have to lead. So we will see how we can do these things. Now, second slide, there are question marks. Are you seeing the slide, the same slide that I'm referring to, question mark, and it's written value addition, new job role?
No, ma'am, it's the
No, ma'am,
same
it's still in
slide,
the
ma'am.
previous slide.
Same slide.
Yes, ma'am, it's in the previous slide. What is an interview?
Okay. Now can you see this?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Maybe there's some problem. Okay. I stopped sharing. I'm sharing again. Let's see what happens. How about now? Do you see value addition, new and job
Yes,
role?
ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So technology can play challenge when it comes to interviews also, like it is doing today. So you have to be ready. You don't see me fretting or having any nervousness because technology is not working, and you have to be get habituated to this as well. Okay, so this is about what is interviewer looking for, right? So let's talk about their side first. As we discussed that interview is a two-way process, so let's discuss their side and then we will come to the side of candidate, our side, because today I'm on your side. So number one, the interviewer is looking for value addition. Trust me, today nobody wants to train. People want you to hit the road running. So the moment you join, you will be told about the product, about the company, but we do not want to train you from beginning, because lot many options are available today and you should be having certain skills with you already, right? So we are looking for value addition when it comes to number one thing from a candidate. Second, it is about you. who you are, how do you fit in my culture, what are your values, if I have you, what do you bring to the table. So that is about you. And finally, the job role. So after I know your value addition, after I know you, I'm now trying to connect the dots and I'm trying to identify if you are fitting in the job role. So these are three things the interview will cover. All the questions will be one of these three things. Either the value add that you are bringing, or about you, or about the job role. Right? So these are three things that interviewer will be asking in different forms. Moving on to next, do you see, are you ready?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, I think if you put in slideshow mode, then it will change, ma'am.
I have put in slideshow mode only. Now,
No, ma'am, the screen is not visible now.
how about this?
Yes, ma'am, now we can.
Are you ready is the title.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So the question is, now we know what is being asked. Are we ready about it? Prepare, prepare, and prepare is the most important mantra. And these 5 things and few more would help you to lead the interview. Remember, from now onwards, you have to lead the interview. How will you do it? Number 1, preparation. Preparation about the JD, about the company. What are the sources? Let's understand from everyone. What are the sources about getting to know more about the company? Anyone? How can you know more about the company?
Google.
Google, yeah, okay. What more?
Referring the company's websites and pictures.
Okay, great. Anything else?
From LinkedIn, ma'am.
LinkedIn, okay, excellent.
Ma'am,
What
through
more
social
can be
media,
done?
ma'am.
Sorry?
Through social media.
Social media, yeah. So it's not restricted to LinkedIn, it can be other platforms as well. Excellent. What more would you do if you have to know about the company?
Talking to the employees of the company, if
Sorry?
known. Talking to the existing employees of the company, if known.
Yeah, okay, excellent. If you can keep it confidential, yes, till the time things are finalized. Okay, excellent. Yeah, and finally, you have to also look out for profile of the interviewer, because then, and it's not only that what they do and who they have been, but try to understand their post also, so that you can bring out that connection. Remember, it's all about connecting the dots. So for example, if you look at my post, I write about human psychology because that's one of the most important area for me. I talk about possibilities. So when you come to interview and you talk about possibility, I will have a connect with you, right? And if I am in the organization for quite some time, it is sure that the values are in match. If values are not matching, I would not be there for this long time, right? So then you can draw a connect and you can draw a line there, and how would you present your responses there would also become easy. So you all are on the right path. Excellent. You know all the ways how to do it. Now the time is to connect the dots. So if you are looking up for the interviewer and ask for name of the interviewer, there's no issue in that. Both your hiring manager and HR manager, and then try to connect the dots. So that is about preparation. Read JD. Many a times I have seen candidates appearing for an interview without even knowing what sort of role they have applied for. They would only know the title of the role. And especially this happens with interns and also those who are coming for MT sort of role very early in the career. So they don't know what competencies are required, what the role does for the overall organization. They have no idea about it. So read the JD in detail. If JD is not comprehensible well by you, try to connect with somebody in the industry. Your professors can help. Your alumni network can be a great way to connect and understand more about a particular job role, because someone or other you will find is already doing that job. So try to understand the job as much in detail so that you can bring in your value adds. And I'll tell you how to bring in those value adds. But remember, if you understand the company well, the person well, the job role well, you are sorted. You will be confident, and that's how you will be leading the interview. Press to impress, we know, even if it is online or virtual mode, we have to dress well. I'll tell you a story here, which happened with one of my friends. So they were hiring for somebody in accounts department, and this person was required to visit offices multiple times. Again, maybe this person didn't read the JD, and they are in the interview went well, and he had all the qualifications. And later on, when this person joined, so it was between the lockdown, so he joined. When he joined, it was realized that the person is physically challenged, so it was not feasible for him to visit multiple offices in a day. Going to multiple places was not an option for him. So company respected their offer, and they allotted him some other role. But the learning was that you have to understand the person in detail. And that's where many a times interviewers would ask you to walk. So just don't come in your lowers and just wearing a suit and all of it. Be well dressed, right from till your shoes. Because if you are asked to get up, you should not be in an embarrassing situation. So that is another thing, and that's why I have put it here, because it is something new when it comes to virtual world. It was not there so far, but now it is an important requirement. Deal with anxiety. It happens with everyone. I have spoken in more than 100 platforms, but even if when I was preparing for this, I had that anxiety. So let us have it because it is good for us. It is a positive stress which pushes us to do more and bring in better results. But we have to deal with it, and it should not show up on your face. So how would you do it? Again, go back to number one, prepare. Prepare with your friends, prepare with your professors, and I'm sure your professors must be giving you these opportunities. You can team up with someone. You can look out for a senior industry professional and request them to conduct a mock interview. These are the ways with which you can prepare. So this is about 3 P's: prepare, prepare, and prepare, and lead the interview. Can you see body language now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll stop sharing and I'll come back. Is it visible now, body language?
No, ma'am. I think this is the another slide. I think you have. No, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Now we can.
Okay. Yeah, so this is about body language, which is quite similar to what it used to be earlier, but now we have this virtual world. So now that you have switched on the videos, I'll come back and I'll first explain this because we are facing this technological challenge. So look at this person who is visible on the screen. There is space here. The head is not cut, right? Hand gestures. So he is visible to this level, so that hand gestures are important. So that hand gestures are visible because they are important. You are looking how confidently this person is talking. There is no distraction in the background. So background is a bookshelf which does not distract anyone, right? There is good lighting, and sound is not visible here, but sound should be good. So let me have a look at what we are having with us today. Yeah, so like Jagan, there's some background noise when you are talking, and your camera was also not at the right level when you introduced me. Now it is right. So this is how it should be. And just try if you can show your hand gestures, because hand gestures are important when it comes to speaking. So Pavitran, it looks good. There is some shadow, but nothing can be done. Aniket, I think you are on mobile. Don't be on mobile when you are in the interview, because it would be difficult for you to be fully visible, because this is the only tool I have as an interviewer and I would like to utilize it to fullest. And that's why you should create an environment. Like Pavitran and Jagan are having white background, which is excellent. So it's not distracting me. My full focus is on you and it is helpful. Likewise, Bharat, you also need not be on mobile when you are appearing for an interview. Right. Nobody else I can see here, so we will go back. So some of the things, you should be fully visible. There should be some head space. Hand gesture should be visible, so you should be visible till hand level. There should be light, properly lit, and there should not be any background noise. Now there can be a situation like it's going on near my house, that construction work is going on. At that time you can tell them in advance so that they are prepared. Like Jagan, maybe there's some technical problem, so you can explain in advance that there's something going on, and that's why whenever I'm speaking there is a noise in background, right? So these are some of the things. Okay, I'm going back to presentation and we will struggle with it again. Can you see next slide? Somebody saying stop.
No, I'm still in some body language.
How about now?
No, ma'am, the screen is not visible yet.
Do you see a white and red combination now?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, finally. So this is about avoiding what all you should avoid during the interview. Number one, being late. So it's not about being there physically anymore, but if you have a Google Meet or you have a Zoom call or a phone call, you need to be there. It should not happen that they are calling you and your phone is just ringing. Or for video interviews, they are there and you have not yet joined. So this should not happen. You have to be punctual and you should be there before them. Now, here is this. So talking about the background and how you should be appearing for interview. So you should not be sitting with your dog, which means it should be as if you are in office. When you go to office, you don't carry along your dog. You don't carry along any distractions. So even at home, you have to tell your family members that I am in an important meeting. Please do not disturb me for such and such time. You can close the door and you can keep away all the distractions, because if you distract the interviewer, you are actually reducing your chances of success. What does this indicate? I'm not going to change the screen anymore because there's some problem. Can you see a different screen now? Yeah, let me check that first.
No, ma'am.
What are you seeing now?
Ma'am, that white and red combination.
Oh, okay. What about now? Do you see? Sorry, I'm late.
No, ma'am. The screen is not visible yet.
Is it now?
No, ma'am.
Forget about it. Then I would be simply explaining this because I'm unable to share my screen. I don't know why. No change in the screen, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So another thing would be that you should not be nervous in the interview. So if you are sitting like this or like this, then interviewer will understand that there is some nervousness. We discussed prepare and deal with your anxiety. If you are well prepared, you will not be anxious, right? So I'm not anxious even if the slides are not working because I am well prepared. So if you are behaving like this, you are fidgeting with your hands or you are doing any kind of body language which is not acceptable, and you know how body language work, we know those 3 V's. 7% of words, 38% of tone and how the voice is, and finally 58% about the visuals. So 55% of visuals are critical, and you have to be very careful about how you are projecting yourself. So that is about nervousness. You shouldn't be aggressive as well. So you can't be replying like this or like this. No, you have to be professional and you have to look like that. I wanted to show these pictures for you to have a relationship, have a connect, but it's not visible. No worries. I'm trying once more with next slide, and please tell me if this one is working. Can you see competence now?
Yes, ma'am.
So maybe animations are not working here. Okay. So it is all about competencies that somebody, the interviewer, is looking for in you. And that's where the technique comes. What is the technique to deal with behavioral interviews? What do you call it? Anyone, you have to unmute and speak. So I'm not sure if you have been introduced to this STAR technique. Are you aware about it?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So STAR technique is about situation, what solution did you bring in, how did you deal with it, and finally, what is the result? So there will be questions. Say, for example, if I'm trying to understand if you are good at teamwork. So I will ask you, tell me an instance where you did well when it comes to teamwork or you collaborated with people. So you can tell me a story from your past wherein it can be your classroom session or it can be a volunteering activity or extracurricular where you worked out and you collaborated with people. So you can say that, for example, for me, I was leading something in my college. There were 11 people in the committee and there were rifts around. And just before 2 days of the presentation or final event, two people decided that they want to quit the committee, and they were very crucial for this. So I came together with them and I explained it to them the importance of teamwork and what will happen if this does not work out. And that's how I resolved this problem and showed that teamwork, for example. So this is one example how you can explain a particular behavior. It is all about behavioral competencies. So I want to understand how would you behave when you are in a particular situation. Another question can be, how do you deal with failures? Say, for example, I apply for different, in my introduction, it was said that I won these many awards. But there are many a times when I apply for an award and I don't even reach the first level. I don't qualify for it. So that is how I deal with failures. Even if I am not qualifying for a particular award, I don't stop applying for next award. I don't stop going for the jury round for next award. And that is a way I come out as a resilient person. So my behavior as a resilient person would show in this example. And so I have to see tell a situation. Situation is that I did not qualify for it. Task that I wanted to get an award, right? And then how did I bring it out along with that story would be the STAR technique for you to explain the behavioral competencies. Can you see match it up now?
No, ma'am.
Excellent. Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I'm troubling you so much, but I don't know what technology is doing with us today. So communication, you can say, for example, a competence, because everybody wants you to have good communication skill, even at entry level, because that's the most important thing. As we know, machines have taken over, and with human, it's only the 5 senses that we have, the ability to connect with others and our decision making ability, that will remain. All others, everything else would be taken over by machine in no time. So communication skill is one of the top 5 skills that everybody wants to have in you. So how would you explain communication skills? It would be presentation to the class, and you can explain that this is how I presented. I'm sure you would have presented multiple times, so you can bring up any instance from there. Teamwork is another thing, like I already discussed an example from teamwork. So how you cooperated, how you brought people together shows your teamwork capability and shows your leadership as well. So when I spoke about teamwork, I did not speak only about how did I manage the team, I also brought out my leadership. Remember, in interview, you have to show how you can bring value to the table. So you have to show what all you can do and what all you are having as a value addition. Leadership we discuss, so you can be a class representative or a committee head or anything, there are various houses in school, you can even bring up that, because I want to know, have you ever done anything like this? And then it makes my job easy, because you are already having this competency, I can put you to work. Initiative is another thing, because the world is ever changing. As we say, change is the only constant, and COVID has accelerated the pace of change. If we were to do changes in terms of technology 5 years hence, they have been brought forward by 5 years, 4 years. Various organizations have brought in a lot of things. Even RBI has asked people, I'm bringing in RBI because it is about money and it is about industry that I belong to. So even RBI has said that you can go for know your client or know your customer online. It will be done in 5 minutes. It will be done in few seconds, right? So initiative is another important thing. How can you do that? You can, for example, there is an example of fundraising, or it can be any other initiative. There are lot many platforms available for volunteering today. You can approach them, you can learn lot many skills, and you can network there as well. Customer care likewise. And finally, the data mindset, the IT thing, it is most important thing today. And it is not about how good you write on Instagram or how good you post a picture on Instagram. It is about having that data mindset. Can you see your turn now?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Now?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Ma'am, do you want us to present, ma'am? If you want, just forward it.
Okay, I think I'm left with only 3-4 slides.
Okay,
If,
okay, ma'am. Okay.
let's try one more time, otherwise I'll forward it to you. Okay. Okay, so now that interviewer has asked and we said that it's a two-way street, let's talk about when it's your turn. What sort of questions you can ask, and remember, it's a two-way street. You must ask question because of multiple reasons. Number one, it can be a game changer for you, because not everybody asks questions. Even at senior levels, I have seen people with 10 years, 15 years of experience, they do not utilize this opportunity. So towards the end of the interview, the interviewer will ask them, do you have any questions for me? And they will generally say, no, nothing, we discussed in detail. But this can be your opportunity to understand them better. That is number one, because you can ask them what sort of culture they have, how do they celebrate success, because you do not want to be in an organization where hard work or efforts are not valued. So if you ask them how do they celebrate success and they tell you this is how they do it, you will know that if you put in your efforts, you will be getting good rewards. So one is to understand the culture, another one is to create that impression, and third is getting more information and leaving that lasting impression. Remember, this is last connect between interviewer and interviewee. If you ask certain questions which are impressive, and from where those questions will come, they will come from your 3 Ps. Prepare, prepare, prepare. If you know a lot about the company, you can say that I have studied your competitors and this is what they are doing. What are your plans? Or I saw this as your value on your website. How do you live by this value? So they will be definitely impressed, and this lasting impression will help you get through. And that's where you should utilize it to the fullest. Can you see after interview now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so maybe this.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So after interview, you have to do 3 things. One is time for review. Review how you responded, how you did it. Like I'm going to review why this problem happened today. Second is feedback. You have to collect feedback, and that's where I will be requesting your ma'am to collect feedback for me and share it with me so that I can improve. Every interaction, every interview is a possibility for improvement. Always take feedback as a gift. Even at this level, every year I run an exercise and I ask at least 10 people in my circle to tell me what more I can do, so that I can continuously improve. And that helps in self-awareness as well. I may not be aware of a particular aspect of myself, which my team or somebody in my circle can bring out. And I can then work on those things. Believe me, this is extremely helpful, and this you should have as a habit, as a professional, as a human being as well. Because when I do my feedback, I involve my family also. Like few days ago, I did it. That was the yearly cycle, and my daughter said that I'm not spending enough time with her. This couldn't have come out if I have not reached out to her, asking her what's happening with her. Right? So take feedback as an opportunity to improve. Not many organizations will give you feedback. It's not feasible because they might be interviewing so many people, and it may not be manually possible to respond to everybody. But if you reach out to them, sometimes you may get a feedback. That is one. And most important thing is keep calm, because you are awesome. One interview, two interview, nothing happens if it does not work out. My own experience, I was rejected 13 times. So when I am basically, like you heard in my introduction, I'm an engineer. I moved to HR, and I was in a maternity break. I was in Ahmedabad. I moved to Mumbai. When I came to Mumbai, after a break, when I had to search for a job, I was rejected 13 times. Nobody was ready to hire me because of multiple reasons. A nuclear family, away from work, so I did not have those skills. Who will take care of child? I was new to Mumbai. They were not sure I will be able to adjust into this big city, because I come from a village, a very small village in Madhya Pradesh. So they were not very interested in hiring me, and I went through those rejections, but it is fine. I always told myself that I am awesome and I will be doing it one day. So keep this in mind, and this is last thing that I'm going to talk about interviews. From here on, I'll be talking about HR. If you have any questions on interview part or the portion which is coming in HR, I will deal with it once we have our Q&A section. So let's move to why HR. I hope it is visible. Why HR?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Great. So like I said, I am an engineer and moved to HR. So many a times I have heard from students, they think that people who are smart, they are not in HR. Smart people don't join HR, but it is not true. Lot many engineers, because when it comes to MBAs, the most cream level is said to be engineers. This I am taking from the data which is available with IIMs and top B schools. So even engineers come to HR, there are a lot many like me. Now, what are the things that I love about HR and I would like to share with you, because you will be taking a decision? Work anywhere is one thing. So I'm not restricted to any particular industry. I started with IT, then I moved to education, then FMCG happened to me. I was in ITES, and now I am with a subsidiary of a European bank. So it is like I can be anywhere, because human beings are all similar. Though industries have this categorization now that if I want to move, BFSI would be first industry which will be interested in hiring me. Shipping may not be interested in hiring me, but that is it's not that everybody's thinking like that. Like I told my story, I have never been to same industry twice. So you can be anywhere, you can learn a lot. FMCG is totally different from what we do in banking. IT is totally different from what I did in education. So it's very interesting, and you keep on learning. Variety of work. So here we keep changing hats. I'm dealing with a labor inspector at one moment, and second moment I'm talking about data mindset to my colleague who is having a challenge with adaptability, or who is having a challenge with getting a solution. So I'm telling him that you have to look into data and you will get a solution. So look at this shift from labor inspector. You understand how archaic the labor laws are and how difficult it is to deal with them in terms of the environment that we operate in. And the next moment, I'm talking to a banker who needs my advice, who needs my counseling for his career performance. Right? So it's never a dull moment kind of thing when you are in HR, because you wear many hats, and we will come to it what all HR is doing today. Make an impact. This is the most important department to make an impact, because you are not only dealing with business, you are dealing with human beings. And that's another reason why I love HR, because in third year of my engineering, I realized that I'm not made for machines, and I can do much better when I connect with people. I connect with human beings, and that's where I moved to HR. So you have to evaluate yourself. What do you really like? Because if I counsel somebody and their career progression improves, if I counsel somebody, and it can be a counseling at personal level also, it happens multiple times, because when people start trusting you, they don't leave their challenges which are in personal life. When you expect an employee to be in office, it's a holistic view that you want. Your employee will be engaged only if they have all the 8 type of wellness. So wellness is not only about your physical well-being. It is having 8 dimensions, and one of those dimensions is social, another one is emotional. So if they are not happy at home, they would not be able to perform fully, engage fully, and that's where they bring up even their personal challenges. So when you guide them on something and they feel happy about it, it is making an impact on somebody's life. That's another thing which you can do as HR, that there is maximum opportunity in HR to do that. And chances to change lives. There have been instances where somebody joined in a wrong department, and then through counseling, through different measures, they were moved to a relevant department, and wherein they could do much better. And that's why there is a possibility to change lives also, by influencing them, by guiding them, by counseling them, and by giving them a right career path. In terms of commercials, in terms of capacity to earn, when you are HR professionals, it is not the best paying job, all of us know, but it is not the lowest also. So it is average, and I have seen in my experience that it doesn't matter which field you belong to. It's on your own aptitude, your ability to create possibilities, and from there on, your earning potential is identified. So these are the things which I love about HR. I'm moving to key competencies for HR, and I'm assuming you are able to see it.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, great. So number one is business acumen. Gone are the days when we used to think that HR is a support function and they have to process payroll, they have to process leave, and that is how things would work. It is now about creating a solution. I started my career with leave and attendance management, but today that particular role doesn't exist because machines have taken over. So when it comes to a HR professional who is successful, understanding the business, how business is making money, what are competitors doing, what is client looking for, these are the things you have to really understand, so that when you speak, so that when you bring out a solution, it is relevant to the business requirement. And that is why it is said that HR professionals also have to visit customers. customers. I do that, and I go and just check with them what's happening, how are you finding it, and they sometimes bring out a situation wherein I realize that okay, my people may be trained better on a particular area, or they may be guided better in a particular area, so that they can serve the customer better. So that is number one competence. Critical thinking, connecting the dots and bringing out those solutions, because it's ever changing requirement today. When COVID hit, a lot of organizations were thinking about what will happen next, and they waited till the PM announced that there is a lockdown on 23rd of March. For our organization, we announced it on 12th of March. Nobody has been to office, back to office. But do you think it would have been easy? Because in India, we were thinking that COVID will not impact us. It's a warm environment, a warm climate, and we have this TB vaccine, and we thought that nothing will happen to us. But it was happening in Europe, and from there we got a clue. So when you tell your managers, your business heads, your CXOs that we want to make everybody operate from home because we care for them, they care for business. So you have to bring out those solutions. How would you create a possibility that business is not impacted, and at the same time you are taking care of your people? Interpersonal skills, it is required in all roles, but HR is it is the most important thing, because you deal with all the line managers, all people, even senior professionals early in the career. That's another advantage with HR, because you get to connect with various people across the ladders, and that's where your interpersonal skills, ability to connect should be great. HR expertise is important if you have to be in HR. Digital mindset, again, it's not about posting pictures on Instagram. It is about having that growth mindset. Can you take challenges as opportunity? And here I'm not suggesting that you should start learning all the languages that come in the market. In my engineering, since I was a computer engineer, I read COBOL. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about COBOL today. So it's not about learning the technology, because technology will keep changing every few years, but it is about that mindset that you can cope up with this change. That's called as digital mindset. That's called as growth mindset. Global and cultural effectiveness is another thing, and it does not apply only to MNCs. MNCs, you have to do it much more for sure, because you are connecting with different country cultures. But even within India, you have to have this open-mindedness. It is about diversity. It is about requirements of each and every employee. So you may have an employee who is having a child who is not letting them work during the day. Can you allow them to operate from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning? That is where the personalization comes in. That is where the diversity of thought comes in. They have a different requirement. There is a diversity of requirement, and you are helping them with that solution. So these are some of the things which are required as key HR competence in case you plan to take up a role in HR. Now, traditional roles in HR, you would have heard performance management, total reward, employment law, like I said, we deal with labor inspectors, performance, so merit-based culture, what all you will have in benefits. It's not only about salary, it's about benefit also. For example, work from home is a benefit, not anymore, but earlier it was. Employee relations, connecting with people and making them understand what's going on, how they are being benefited, so that there is no employee-employer conflict. Recruitment, bringing in the right talent and having that talent pool ready. Engagement, and now engagement has been replaced by experience. So just like we go to a particular brand because we have that great experience with them, we do it with workplace also. If you are giving good experience to people, they will be engaged and they will be with you. Organization development, creating a different structure of the organization. When you are having that kind of organization restructuring or re-engineering, improving productivity, deploying people in different roles through internal job postings or through various other means, that is organization development. And learning and development, so that your people are future ready. It's about unlearning, relearning, upskilling, everything put together so that you have a pipeline ready for your future. So these are traditional roles. These are new roles. Now HR is a marketer. Many organizations, HR department hire marketers in their team because HR is not said to be good in branding, and that's where it's another skill that you need if you want to work as HR. Connector, like I said, connecting the dots so that you have solutions. Strategizer, HR strategy plays a very important role when it gets connected to business objectives. You have achievements in terms of business goals, your business in terms of your P&L. Designer, you are designing HR policies, and they are not just to be there, they are to be followed. Say, for example, I did my design engineering course few weeks ago because I keep designing strategies, I keep designing policies, and if I don't have that design thinking in me, my policies would not be acceptable by people. So that's another thing which you have to do. Co-creator, you have to connect with people and bring out those solutions. Agile, you have to learn, have that learning agility. So many things are changing even in HR. Like I said, leave and attendance management is what I was doing 15 years ago. It does not exist anymore. So I have learned so many other things and I'm moving up the ladder. So these are some of the things that you do in HR role and the competencies and why I love HR and why you can think of a career in HR. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much. My apologies on this technical glitch. I hope it still made sense to you. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the thought-provoking, enlightening, and interactive session. I'm sure that we are now ready to face an interview. Facing it, we're also ready to lead an interview. Now the floor is open for question and answers. Students can ask their doubts.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, will AI replaces human resource?
Will AI replace human resource? Yeah, very pertinent question. And yes, AI will replace, but AI will replace only roles which are monotonous and machines can do. Like leave and attendance management has already been moved. Like engagement surveys have already been moved to machines. Now it is pulse survey, so machines are checking. Learning and development, lot of things have already moved to AI. Data analysis, yes, but the kind of role that people will be doing, like I said, five senses and our ability to connect, that emotional intelligence would never get developed, or until it gets developed in machines, we will always have job roles for us, but the roles will change. For example, HR, one of the most important role will become wellness, because wellness has become the need of the hour, and now people know that wellness is important even for business continuity. So wellness is one role. Another role is, you would have heard Amazon saga, where we got to know that machine was biased and they were not selecting people from a particular gender. So there will be one HR professional who will be teaming with machines to remove their biases, auditing them. There will be HR continuity officer who will be having these data from the organization so that business continuity remain. There will be another role. Now we have AR, VR, where employees are supported to visit the office virtually. As you play the games, there are different AR, VR games also. So there will be someone who will be guiding those machines to play that AR, to make that AR, VR the most effective one. Someone supporting them for work from home, because that's where the future is going. So from performance management, the redundant one, because performance management also has been to a larger extent taken by machines, to HRIS, which is fully on machines now, we will be doing these meaningful roles. So yes, all the monotonous jobs will be assigned to machines, but human being will still be required unless machines develop five senses and emotional intelligence. I hope this helps, Bharat.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Any more questions?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Kaushik.
Ma'am, as a HR manager, what do you expect from an fresher candidate, ma'am?
Yeah, so like I said, those three things, the most important would be the value addition you are bringing to table. And how would you demonstrate it? Read the competencies. If the competency is teamwork, bring it up. If competency is communication, bring it up. Because I want you to hit the road running. I do not want to have a lag where I'm teaching you how to communicate with customers, how to communicate with clients. You have to go and start your work. Though some training will be provided, but it's most about learning from on your own. And these are the things that I look for when I am hiring a fresher. Hope this helps, Kaushik.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, Raki.
Yeah, ma'am. So, ma'am, during the presentation, as you said that in interview, if interview asks the interviewee that do you have any question for us or any feedback, then as you said that we can tell about the company's values or can speak about the competitors being best in this field as compared to this company. So my question is, when we are talking about the competitor and we are comparing, so won't it reflect a negative impression on the interviewer? About
So, see,
interviewing?
okay. So thanks, Raki. You brought it up. Maybe there's some misunderstanding here. What I mean is, you have to bring it out smartly to indicate that competitor is doing it, right? Like I said, that for HR, even for HR professional, it is important to know what is happening with competitor. So if you are any other role, it is imperative that you know what's happening with competitor. So bring up, say for example, if my organization, we do factoring. Factoring is a financial product wherein we pay you money. Say for example, you are a manufacturer and you sell your goods to Marks and Spencers. Marks and Spencers, being a very large buyer, will always have a credit period. So 90 days will be the time required for that, and then shipping time would be say 30 days. So for 4 months, you have no money as manufacturer. India Factoring will pay you the moment you ship your goods, and then we will take our money back from Marks and Spencer. So this is a business model, right? Now, if I have to bring up competitor, I will talk about the number of days in which they give loan or the interest rate with which they give loan. So I am not putting you in bad light, but I'm trying to understand more, probe more that if it is written somewhere that this is the percentage that, because a lot of people, I mean, a lot of organization put it on the website. It's a RBI requirement also that what percentage you will be giving. It will be a range, the interest rate. So I can always bring up this condition, this particular thing, and I can say that this is what is happening with competitor. How do you do it so that you have customers despite a aggressive competitor? So here I'm trying to bring up the customer, competitor, and I'm showing you that I know it, but at the same time I am curious. I'm not showing off that I know everything, or I'm not putting you in the bad light. Is that okay, Raki? And another thing, the feedback thing is after interview. During interview, you will not ask, how did I do? The questions to ask are different. These are related to the culture, the values, the kind of celebrations they do, how they celebrate success, or even failure you can ask about, so you know, do they immediately fire if anybody makes mistake. So those are the things which you will ask during interview. After interview, you can go back and write a thank you email and ask for feedback. Don't ask for feedback during interview. Is it clear, Raki? Is it
Yeah,
making
ma'am.
sense?
Yes, ma'am, I got your point. So, ma'am, basically it is that while comparing with the competitor, by saying the problem, even we can give the solution. So that would
Yes.
make a sense, ma'am. Yeah,
Yeah,
ma'am.
or
Thank
we
you
can
so
just
much.
show the curiosity that we are really eager to know more about it. I could say all these things with ease because I am in this business for 6 years. As a candidate, you will not get all this information. So show that you are curious. Anything else? Any other questions?
Ma'am, I have heard that mostly girls are being recruited in HR. Is it true, ma'am?
No, if you look at CHROs, some of the very senior CHROs, I will mention some whom you might be knowing because they are very famous. One of the VPHR is Harjeet Khanduja. He works with Reliance. He is, then likewise there is CHRO for Aditya Birla, there's CHRO for Aviva, most or many organizations will have. It's a mix. It's not that only women are hired for this role.
Okay,
And
ma'am.
also,
Thank you, ma'am.
organizations these days are very careful about diversity. So you will not be rejected based on your gender.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Any other questions?
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to call upon the US students.
It's an honor for me to deliver the oath of thanks on this special day. On behalf of School of Management, DG Vaishnav College, I would like to express my gratitude to everyone present here. I want to thank our guest speaker for the day, Ms.GAURI Das, who gave a vital time from a busy schedule to grace this event and giving us a valuable insights and patiently clearing all our queries. Thank you, ma'am, for being a part of this occasion. I would also like to thank our secretary, Shri Ashok Kumar Mundraji, our principal captain, Dr. S. Santosh Babu, and also our beloved director, ma'am, Dr. U. Amaleshwari, for her guidance and moral support. I would like to thank the Madras Management Association for their support. I thank all the faculty members for their extended support and assistance throughout the event. Once again, I thank all the students for your active participation and cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Thank you so much, ma'am.
small request. Can we have a group? Ma'am,
Yes, Jagan, go ahead. Go ahead. Just take a pic. Guys, switch on your videos for just a few seconds. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
thank you,
you.
ma'am.
All the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, your LinkedIn profile name, ma'am.
Yeah, so I'm done with 32,000 connections. I would not be able to add you, but you can follow me. It's Gauri Das.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm taking your leave, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.